G'day guys, welcome to Rumble's Fish Room. So, I wasn't actually going to post today, but I think I might do a same day upload. But if you guys are seeing this on Thursday, that means that I changed my mind and I did have a day off. We'll see. I'm a bit undecided at the moment, but what's the harm in same day uploads? I did it yesterday and it was alright. Anyway, today's video is about my wastewater. I want to clarify something I've got a few questions about, and you guys know I love answering questions via videos. But first of all, let's do a chook update. I know this has been a asked about topic on the channel, so let's have a look at the chooks. Alright guys, let's have a look. So, as the missus just said, kind of getting attached to them all, and I planned on only keeping 5. There's currently 10. There's 2 which I could swear are roosters, but they're getting to that age where they should have crowed by now. So I don't know which ones I'd get rid of. Not get rid of, sorry. Family wants chickens. If that, everybody caught wind of me hatching eggs and put their name down, so there's a few family members that are interested in chickens. I was kind of thinking wait till they get a little bit bigger and then deciding. I would like to keep which patterns I like, but also I want to see which ones get like bigger as well, because obviously I'm looking for some nice sized eggs, so I'll look for some nice sized chickens. So this one here, I'm not going to be able to catch it. That one there I could have sworn was a rooster. Let's get a bit of a side profile. It's got like the gobbly gobblies, but it's only got small gobbly gobblies, whereas let's go, we're going to stay full zoomed, but I'm going to try and get close to this one. This one, I'm like 99% sure that's a rooster. The tail feathers are different to the rest. I know you can check on the wing, but I haven't done so. I could swear that's a rooster. I think yellow feet is also another sign of rooster, but not like a guaranteed trait. But yeah, I know there's a few chookers. What's a chook enthusiast? A chicken lover? I know, look at him go. That one's got yellow feet, but no, I don't think that one's a rooster. But like, even so, there's 2 that I think are roosters. Even if there's only 2 roosters, 10 hens, that seems a bit ridiculous to me. And I've hatched chickens before, and how many did we hatch, babe? Like 6 or 7? And we hatched 6 last time, and all 6 were hens. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't seem like the math is that great accurate to me. What I heard was the general consensus is you get 60% you get 60% roosters. Look at the size of the gobble gobbles on this guy. If that's not a rooster, I'll give away a free flower horn. That's a rooster. It's got to be. Mate, come on, crow in the morning so I can send you off to your new home. Then he actually has a new home. New home isn't heaven. He's going to a farm, if it is a he. And then, can you catch the other one? Where's it gone? This one. She said, don't film her. See how the tail's like different to the rest? She's a chicken catcher, not me. See, these gobble gobbles aren't as big. So I wouldn't be surprised if this one is a hen. And then, I don't know. So like, there's a way, I don't know how off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure these feathers under here, there's a way to tell whether those feathers are rooster or not. But anyway, I just wait for them to go cock-a-doodle-doo, and then the neighbours will get angry, and I'll get rid of them in not very long. Anyway guys, let's go down the side here, have a look at this water system, because people seem to think that all this system's linked, but there's 2 completely separate water systems here. So I've got my koi pond, which has its filter. That's one system. And then that system you guys saw me a couple of weeks ago, I plumbed that system into these IBCs. So these RBCs get water from that. I haven't checked on this for like 2 weeks. Everything's grown heaps. You guys are getting an update and I'm getting an update as well. Yeah, I've still got to change this drain pipe to a bigger one. I might even be able to put more snorkels in it. See how there's a snorkel here? If I add more snorkels, I might be able to fix it. See, they're both floating. That's not a good sign. What's this one doing? That one, oh, no, that one's floating too. That's a really bad sign. Now that one's not floating, so that one started siphoning. Anyway, that's off topic. I got to change that drain pipe. There's a snorkel here. Everybody comments saying add a snorkel. There is a snorkel. We need to add another snorkel. But no, actually, we just need to replace that drain pipe. But anyway, so the strawberries are cranking. So the point behind the video was, so these 3 tubs are linked to the koi pond. But a few people seem to think that this was linked to my fish room or something. And then, so there's 4 RBCs here. And there's actually a pipe here, that drain pipe there. That comes from the fish room. So all the wastewater from the fish room travels through a pipe which is very deep under here. It's underneath all of that. It's underneath the limestone wall. It literally went in before I did any excavation for the koi pond or anything. So that pipe is very deep under there somewhere. But anyway, so that comes from the fish room. These RBCs are half buried. The top of that pipe is actually lower than the bottom of the lowest tank in the fish room. So it's all gravity fed. It's 75mm stormwater. If I ever did it again, I would use 90mm because 90mm is actually cheaper than 75. And cost being the only reason I would never use 75 again. The couplers are like 3 times the price. All right, so that water goes in there, and if you haven't seen, there's, I just stepped on a nail or something. So there's a constant pressure pump here, which don't mind that wire. It's literally just holding my fence closed. So there's a constant pressure pump which goes to a solenoid. Well, there's a couple of solenoids which I actually need to clean up the wiring because I tripped over this wiring a couple of weeks ago and ripped it all out, and my lawn died because the solenoids didn't turn on. So that fish tank water in that 4,000 litre storage actually goes through this pump and waters my lawn. It does the front twice a week and it does the back twice a week, I think. Or it does the front 3 times and the back twice. Anyway, let's go have a lawn update, I reckon. Alright guys, so this is the front lawn at the moment. So like I said, the solenoid died and the lawn completely died. The problem when I have a problem with that pump or that solenoid, by the time I realise and turn it back on, the lawn actually goes downhill further before it comes back. It honestly doesn't matter. I don't mind it dying every now and then because when it bounces back, this is like 2 weeks post completely dead, it bounces back like, it's like it comes back healthier than it was when it died. But anyway, so I got an edger. I don't know if I showed it on camera, didn't I? The one thing I don't know, like, so like I've edged this edge and see how like there's the line, but there's still a little bit of grass on that side of the line of the edger. I don't know if I need to try and get a bit closer to the concrete or just keep going and eventually that'll disappear. I put some poison down on all this yesterday. I went to town yesterday. I edged it, I whippersnipped, I mowed. I put some product on it as well. I put a weed killer because you can't really tell right now, but there's still a few weeds. I put a barricade down which does most of the weeds, but there's like one broadleaf type weed that the barricade doesn't really seem to be effective on. But then I've got another one which is a weed killer, not a barricade, and that seems to get it. It's this stuff here. I don't want to rip it because I want the poison to work. So like from what I can gather online, people just use the 2 products in conjunction, but also one of the products that I'm currently using is discontinued, so I'm gonna have to find a new one. It's called Embargo, so I've got to speak to the guy, get it off, and see what we can use in the future. The only thing is, I only need 50 mils every 3 months, so actually now think about it, I've probably still got like 2 or 3 years worth of the product before I need to replace it. I put wetting agent down, which is a locally supplied agent. There's a guy named Ralphie's Lawn Supplies. It's not sponsored or anything at all. He's just starting up a brand and he's selling the product at a really cheap rate to get the brand going. So I took full advantage of it. I bought myself like 2 or 3 years worth of supply. At the moment I'm using 100 ml every 2 weeks and I bought 5 litres, and I probably won't use 100, I'll probably drop it back to 50 mils a week a fortnight once it comes back. And the only other thing I'm putting on it is the seaweed, like the one at the green shed, but also supplied by Ralphie's, and 1/10 of the price. That's also 100 mils. Well, I think it's 50 mils per square meter or 100 mils per. I'm running at double dose for just to bounce this back. But yeah, it sounds expensive. I can't remember the price off the top of my head, but the thing with the shit at the big green shed is you need to buy it every 2 weeks, whereas this bottle will last me like, however, what was 100 mils, 2.5 litres a year. So that one bottle lasts me 2 years, even if I keep it the double dose rate. Sprinklers are going pretty well. I've got MP rotators. I need to upgrade that constant pressure pump, get a bit more pressure through the heads of them, but it's kind of like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if that pump ever dies, it'll definitely be upgraded with a higher pressure pump. It just needs a little bit more. The MP rotator heads, they move, but they move really slow, and I've driven past some people's houses and they've got the same sprinklers and they move heaps quicker. The other option is I could break it up into what do you call it, zones. I'm watering 100 square meters on one zone at the moment. If you're into Retu, you know that that's pushing the fucking boundaries. You definitely couldn't do 100 square meters on the scheme water here. That thing puts out way more pressure than the scheme water and liters per hour. But the thing is, I guess another reason I haven't mentioned that I wouldn't mind getting a bigger pump is that pump is actually the same pump that's in the fish room, and the one in the fish room is starting to make some noise. I think the bearings are starting to go in it, so I was kind of thinking about pulling it apart and greasing the bearings, but I don't know. Drop a comment. Do you reckon they're just an Azedo pump? They came with a 3-year warranty, and at this stage they're like 4 or 5 years old. I don't know. One of you guys could probably fact check me on. No, it was this one here is old. I reckon that's 5 years old. It's older than the one in the fish room by a good year or two. Oh, maybe not. Maybe the fish room one's older. I can't remember. Either way, I remember I had one and then I bought a new one, and I kept the receipt for the new one because the warranty was new enough for me to replace both. But honestly, if you want a constant pressure pump, go to Bunnings and get one of these pieces of junk. I can't believe how reliable they've been. Kind of changed my view on Azedo. In saying that, I used an Azedo hammer drill once and it didn't even last 10 holes. So I definitely don't rate all of their products. But I don't know. It's a bit hard to capture how green it is too, because it's the gold now. Do you know what? So let's talk about the neighbours. See that house over there? That lawn is always green. And then I was like, they must put some crazy product on it or something. And then the house sold and there's new owners in it and it's still always green. But like you can see it doesn't get well looked after. So I'm kind of, mind you, it looks like it's starting to die off at the back there since the new owners have been in. But I'm kind of wondering what soil's underneath. My problem here is my soil is absolute shit. So if you've been following my journey over the last few years, I'm pretty much like one step away from just poisoning it like completely, like making this front yard radioactive, and then like ripping it out, taking 100 mil of soil out, putting the right soil down, not even 100 mil times 100 square meters, and then the pillow. What I learnt in the past is when sand comes out of the ground, it's like 3 times the size of in the ground. Anyway, so you get what I'm trying to say. Like, for me to renovate this would be no change from probably like $5,000 to $8,000, and like I've done everything I can to avoid that. And then it died like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, yep, I've got to do it. There's no choice around it. And then it bounces back like this. It might not look like much, but it's bounced back so hard, and it's been like high 30s to 40s the last 2 weeks, and it's still bounced back. So I think what it is, right, my recipe and water is perfect for it, but the soil is shit. So what happens is, when I get the recipe right, it thrives, but then any slight failure in the recipe and the soil doesn't back it up, if that makes sense. So the other thing I can do is just keep top dressing it, but at the moment I actually took heaps out here. There's a bit low, but that whole front section, I worked on it for like literally years, and I took sections out with, if you guys saw, you saw, I think it was on the channel, and now it's like really flat, and I don't want to top dress it that much that it's higher than my driveway, pretty much is the long answer to that. Anyway guys, this has turned into a really long Rumbles ramble. I'm actually shattered. I started doing couch to 5Ks. It's an app on your phone. I went for a run Monday night. I meant to go for a run tonight, but my shins are killing me. I don't know why my shins, but anyway, I'm gonna have dinner and then try to rustle up the courage to do the day number 2 of couch to 5Ks. On that note, if anybody wants to do couch to 5Ks, download the app and message me, and like we'll just bounce back and forth on our progress. It'd be cool if somebody else does it with me, even though they're not physically doing it with me. Just talking about it in Messenger will keep me motivated to keep going on it. But anyway guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe for more, hit that little red button. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.